We are live on YouTube. And Zoom is recording.
I'm Michele Whittington.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. How is everyone here?
Good.
Good. I'm happy to be here.
Here's Reverend Bill with your God Call.
In one of his lectures, Thomas Troward said the law of flotation was not discovered by contemplating the sinking of things, but by contemplating the floating of things which floated naturally, and then intelligently asking why they did so. And that same possibility is open to us. If we're looking at the problem, if we're looking at the negative, if we're looking at what doesn't work or hasn't worked in the past, we are limiting the possibility of what can work for us next. Open yourself up to brand new possibilities and see what new ideas float up for you.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will leave us one. Imagine all the churches. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger, and brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will leave us one. Will leave us one.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And good morning, New Thought Philadelphia. We are on Zoom again as we're coming into Thanksgiving week. And it's wonderful to look around my gallery view here and see the folks who, if we were meeting in person, which by the way would be lovely, would probably not be able to make it in from Wisconsin or Arizona or New Mexico or California or England. or perhaps possibly even New Jersey, depending on how many of you don't want to come across the moat on a particular morning. So let's take advantage of the fact that we've got this Zoom connection. We were able to connect together deeply with each other. And for the most part, you've followed the usual Zoom rules. Leave your microphone muted except when you're sharing so that we don't have that Zoom cacophony going on, except at some of those favorite times like this one. So go ahead and unmute yourself and repeat after me. I open myself to love.
I
open
open
myself
myself
to
to
love.
I open myself to joy.
I open myself to joy.
Joy.
I set an attitude of gratitude.
I set an attitude of gratitude.
And I knew love is right here, right now.
I know love
The love is right here,
right
right now.
And so it is.
So it
And
is.
so it is.
Yes.
Go ahead and exercise that mute button one more time. And I will remind you that New Thought Philadelphia is an open and loving community of spiritual adventurers, welcoming each person to experience their divine nature in an empowering space of unconditional love. Whatever path you've been on, whatever brought you to our Zoom today, wherever you're heading next, we have been expecting you. Welcome home. We believe there's one power, love, intelligence, or force that creates everything, including each of us, and that we each use that same power, love, intelligence, or force to create our lives according to our beliefs. Or as we say around here for short, your new life begins with a new thought. If you have extra electronic devices, like your phone or something else that's going to ring or buzz or beep or otherwise distract you, go ahead and set it to shush for the next hour or so that we can turn our attention within and focus on that divine power and presence that's the truth of us without being distracted. I'm Reverend Bill Marcioni. Our music today is by our brand new guest musician, Anna Varjniak, and Dina Marcioni, who is our music director, found her on Insight Timer. So I'm going to let Dina tell Anna's story just a little bit.
Well, that was the story. Anna is what I meditate to every morning. Her music is divine. And then as I explored more, I found that her voice was, even more exquisite. So I'm so excited and honored that Anna is joining with us today. Thanks.
Beautiful. And welcome,
Thank you
Anna.
so much,
And,
Tina. Hello, everyone.
and Anna is dialing in from North London, as opposed to the rest of you who are just in regular London. It's nice to be able to reach across the pond and do that. Our practitioner for the celebration today is Breen Rourke, RSCP, and he will begin our celebration the way we begin everything, in a practical prayer.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning, everyone, or afternoon, I guess, Anna, for you. Yeah, this is awesome. Here we are from all over the world. And everywhere, all over the world, we're all connected anyway because there's only one power, one presence, one idea, one creative force, one life, one love. It's all that one. God, Spirit, the infinite, the divine, the unlimited field of potentiality, whatever you choose to call it, it's all that essence, that energy, that space between everything. It's got no edge, no center. It's everywhere, always. So I know I'm an expression of that one, and so too is everyone here on this Zoom, everyone watching on YouTube or Facebook or looking at this 10 years from now. Because every person, everything, every is that one expressing here and now. So I'm grateful for this expression of love, all these bright lights of love coming together to grow, to deepen, to enrich, to be uplifted and fulfilled, the words, the music, the ideas. It's all God in action. And I'm so very grateful to know this truth, grateful for this expression of love that is New Thought Philadelphia. So with gratitude, I know that this good is here now. I know it, I claim it, and I let it be. And so it is. So, prayer. Why do we do it? Because it works. Prayer works. Prayer produces results in our experience. It doesn't change out there. It changes us in our experience. So now's the time we like to open up the community and hear how prayer is working in your life. I've got my two 24-inch monitors. I can see everybody whose camera is on. I can see your little box with your name if your camera is not on. So you can wave your hand. You can click your reaction button and raise your hand. We want to hear about how prayer is working in your life. So who's up first? Linda Francis.
Morning, everybody. So this is an ongoing, continual prayer that's just in the works all the time, but I've just got 2 new referrals today for my pet sitting business, and it's expanding, and I'm busy all the time. And it's just, and you know what? I don't feel like I'm working at all. I love the people, I love the animals, and I couldn't be happier, but it is an ongoing, and I'm just really happy. So there you go. Prayer works, guys.
Prayer works. Yes, it does. Who else? I've got one. So I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I shared a prayer work story because I've been working on this idea of joy and beauty and showing up in life. And a couple weeks ago, Jane and we went to see Emmylou Harris on a spur of a moment. And the other day, I got an email that this group that we like, the Lone Bellow, was going to be in Philadelphia. That I got the email like on a Friday or Saturday, and they were coming that Wednesday. So we got tickets, and we went Wednesday night and saw the Lone Bellow. It was an awesome time. We had a lot of fun. And we also just been getting out and going to high school football games in the cold because I love football, and Jane's willing to just come with me. So just been out. We've been having all these dates, just having fun and being out in the world, which is nice to be out and about. Anyone else? Bill.
I actually have a story that I'm going to tell on behalf of somebody else because I thought it was pretty cool. And it's an example of how the same things can fit together in a different way to bring more harmony and joy into our lives. So this person is at work and is working in one department and not particularly being uplifted or fulfilled by the work because there are some constraints and restrictions on it. So there's a lot of frustration in that. And the people in the unit were not particularly having a great time either because they weren't getting what they needed. So there was a new position that opened up in a different department. And simply by moving from one department to the other made both situations, actually all three, better. Because her experience got better and the place where she was leaving didn't have to juggle. And the place which she was moving into had the opportunity to have somebody who was there to take care of stuff and take a burden off of other people. So, and that's exactly how the law works. It's not like we're creating a new person or we're creating a new job. We're just rearranging the things that are there so it fits together in greater harmony. I love being able to tell those stories.
Beautiful. Thank you. Prayer works. So give it a whirl. And now here's Carla Ann with our announcements.
Good morning, everyone. This bountiful information can be found on our website at newthoughtphilly.org and in our weekly e-newsletter. Please sign up on the website so that we can keep in touch. Twice a day, we have a community check-in and meditation on Zoom. They're inspiring and fun, absolutely awesome, and less than 15 minutes. Everyone is welcome. And if you haven't been to one lately, make it a point to stop in for one of the 12 calls this week. On Thanksgiving Day, we're hosting a virtual open house from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Drop by on this same Zoom meeting and spend some time with your virtual family. Save the date for our winter solstice celebration as we welcome the return of the light. Yay, light! It's on Tuesday evening, December 21st from 5:30 to 6:45. Episode 24 of Reverend Bill's Practical Prayer Podcast is Invisible Friends and Rapid Pace Affirmations. Listen on the web or subscribe on Apple, Google, Spotify, or Stitcher. Absolutely wonderful when you're taking a walk. Take a walk with Reverend Bill. Support our social media. Follow New Thought Philly on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And join the Philly Spiritual Adventurers in our group on meetup.com. The Power of Eight Intention Circle meets Mondays at 7 p.m. Contact Sandy for info. The Conscious Creativity Core meets the third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Contact Chris for info. The Women's Circle meets Thursday, December 23rd at 7 p.m. Contact Joe or Sandy for info. Healing the Divide is a 10-week program beginning in January and based on Ruth King's book of Mindful Race, conducted in small groups. Sandy Freed and Karen Judd will lead.
And Sandy's actually going to say a word about that now.
Yeah, I wanted to say a quick word. So for everybody who was concerned after George Floyd's death and who has been concerned about the divide in our country around race, the New Thought communities, spiritual centers for spiritual living, and unity communities are all offering these small group race discussion groups based on a book. And ours is starting in January. And Karen and I are both leading groups. They're 10 weeks, just 5 to 8 people. And it gives us a real opportunity to talk about and get clearer about and do our part in healing the divide of race in our country. So please sign up. You can sign up on the website. Thanks.
Thanks, Sandy. So now you can use Venmo and the Cash App to donate to New Thought Philadelphia or pay for books and classes and services and all of that. Thank you to the fabulous production team and the presenters who make our Zoom celebration work and have fun doing it. There's a short technical rehearsal before the celebration on Sunday mornings. And if you want to join our team, please contact me. I will put all the information in the chat in just a moment, but it's totally awesome. And the more the merrier. Next Sunday will be virtual on Zoom and YouTube. Reverend Bill is going to talk about the many times and many ways we're reminded that we must take care of ourselves. Live and original music by Emily Drinker. And if there's a challenging situation in your life that could use some newness, meet with Reverend Bill or a practitioner for a professional prayer session. After the celebration, Brain will be available for a quick miracle in a minute prayer at no charge. We'll leave the Zoom meeting open for people to talk amongst ourselves at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla and Sandy. It's wonderful to see and hear from you. It's been a little while. When are you coming back from California? The 1st, I think?
December 1st.
December 1st. Okay, well, we will roll out the big red carpet all the way down to the airport for you.
Thank you.
So when we get together in person, we have a special gift and a blessing for our second-time visitors, the people who have come back for a second visit. And we also have, usually it's a welcome packet and a blessing for our first-time visitors. We don't have the welcome packet on hand today, but if you're here for the first time, or even if you just haven't done this yet, please make sure you sign up on the website for the e-newsletter. It's a respectful thing. We only chase after you once a week or so and send you the very most recent and pithy information. And it's also pretty short because it's got links to the website and things like that, so you don't have to read that much of it. If you were here for the first time, and I know that our guest speaker, Reverend Michele Whittington, is here for the first time, and Anna Barjniak is also here for the first time. If there's anybody else who's here for the first time, go ahead and raise your hand, either digitally or otherwise. And you new people, you just received this. The rest of us are going to rub our hands together to generate some warmth so we can feel the love. A nice, crisp, cool day like today, we can really feel it. Feel that love and send it out. You are the bright light of God's love. Thank you for shining your light and sharing your love with us today. And welcome. During the next song, usually what we do if we're together is we wander around the room and hug each other, which is a lot of fun. And full disclosure, when I first got into New Thought, the teaching was pretty cool, but I really like the hugging. So look forward to when we get to go back and do that again. In lieu of hugging this time, though, go ahead and switch yourself to gallery view. And as Anna does this song, which is an original composition, just go ahead and make eye contact with the folks who are in the Zoom together with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. And Patricia is going to lead us today in the Flames of Faith, which was originally shared with us many, many moons ago by Reverend Gene Sweet, who's now in Montana.
We perform this ceremony to acknowledge that all people and all faiths come from the one power, love, intelligence, which we call Spirit of God. We honor the richness that comes from our shared diversity and bless the interwoven energy of the divine feminine and masculine. We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous people, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path for compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. As we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone or any place you wish to have experienced a healing flame of God's eternal love.
Blessed be. The reading today is going to be brought to us by Kathy Shevsky. Kathy, it's wonderful to see you. It's been a while.
I know, I'm here. Today's reading is from The Art of Uncertainty by Dennis Merritt Jones. Where it all begins. Your attitude originates in your mind and is formed by your predominant thoughts and beliefs about life and yourself, repeated habitually until they become second nature. Then, by means of your emotional body, it filters through your feeling nature and sublimates in your physical body as an energy that permeates every cell, tissue, bone, muscle, artery, organ, and limb. Your attitude colors the lens of your perspective and literally determines not only how you see the world, but how the world will see you. Your attitude broadcasts an energy that goes before you to announce your coming. It informs people who you are and what your true values, even before one word departs your lips. Others can see your attitude on your face and in your body language, not to mention your actions. As Emerson said, who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. Consider this. As you come to the edge of whatever uncertainty may look like for you, your current attitude will play a large role in determining the condition you will bring with you into the creative zone of the unknown. Because all thought is in essence creative energy, your attitude is really an energy director sending information, correct or erroneous, to your physical body, as well as the ethereal body of your relationships. In other words, the altitude of your attitude can affect how well your physical body feels and functions, and most definitely how well your relationships with others function. Another way to say it would be that you are always becoming cause to your own effect, or as the ancients might say, as within, so without, as below, so above, so below. It is done unto you as you believe. As a person thinks, so they are, and so on. My point is, a healthy attitude about life and yourself is generally self-evident in a healthy body. Healthy relationships likewise are formed and sustained by a healthy attitude. If the condition of your physical body or the body of your affairs is less than what you would like it to be, perhaps some self-inquiry regarding the altitude of your attitude is in order before you step to the edge of uncertainty.
You with the sad eyes, don't be discouraged. Oh, I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and a darkness inside you can make you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors and beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me a smile then. Don't be unhappy, can't remember when I last saw you laughing. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, call me up, because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow, like a rainbow. If this world makes you crazy and you've taken all you can bear, you call me up, because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors. The true colors are beautiful, like a rainbow, like a rainbow.
Wow, Anna. Wow.
Thank you.
That was
Shining,
beautiful.
everyone.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Oh, so I get to introduce my friend, Reverend Dr. Michele Whittington, and it's not like I have to think of what to say. It's like I have to figure out what to cut out, because she is so cool and so impressive. She was the senior minister at the Creative Living Fellowship in Phoenix, Arizona for 22 years, and is now running her own consulting and coaching business, which is wonderful. She did one of those things where usually in New Thought, we talk about what we want instead of what we don't want. And there are a few exceptions. One of them is our intro class, which is called Beyond Limits. And it's talking about limits specifically because that's what we're going beyond. Michele's business is called Unleash Your Life. And when you say that, you know exactly what she's talking about and exactly who that's right for, doing a lot of work with coaching and empowerment for women. we are both on the board of directors for the affiliated New Thought Network for Anton, and had the opportunity to co-chair the first virtual retreat that the organization ever did last year. And it was one of those things where Michele said, well, I'll do it if Bill does the technology. And Bill said, I'll do it if Michele does the people. And it was one of those symbiotic relationships where we both got to do what we wanted to do and put together an absolutely, well, it was a good enough event that we were, they insisted that we do it again this year. It's coming up in April. So as you can imagine, I can keep talking about the firewalk, the pig joke, the first time that she sang, which I think was the first Anton conference that I went to, all things that she didn't know that she was going to do. But I'm going to stop talking so that Michele can take over. Michele Whittington.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. And I have to tell you, this is my first Zoom Sunday service that I have had the opportunity to speak at. So this is another new experience for me, and I'm excited to have it. And I'm just knowing it's going to go really well. And before I start talking, I have something to say. I think some famous politician once said, before I speak, I have something to say. So what I want to say before I speak is thank you, Bill. You are amazing. And you guys know how amazing he is. But I have such a special place in my heart for you, Reverend Bill. And you are such a combination of profound spiritual depth, quirky humor, and technological genius. Now, that is what I call a well-rounded person, right? Isn't that amazing, right? And yeah, what Bill did for our live conference that we had for the affiliated New Thought Network just a couple of weeks ago was truly a gift and incredible. So thank you, Bill, for who you are and all you do, and for letting me be here with you today. Because I want to talk about enthusiasm and the power of enthusiasm. I love that word. And I love words that Ralph Waldo Emerson had to say about enthusiasm. He wrote, "Every great and commanding movement in the annals of the world is due to the triumph of enthusiasm. Nothing great was ever achieved without it." Nothing great was ever achieved without it. So what's what we're going to talk about today, the greatness that can be achieved when we bring enthusiasm to our lives. So I really love words, and I love precise definitions, and I'm a little bit of a nerd in that way, that one of my favorite things to do I still do it now and again, is to read the dictionary. I know that's kind of strange, but I love to read the dictionary. And I also, one of my favorite books is Strunk and White's Elements of Style. Anybody know Elements? All right, bringing you new elements. One of my favorite books, Elements of Style. So anyway, I decided I want to look up enthusiasm and see what the dictionary had to say about it. And in the American Heritage Dictionary, there are actually 3 definitions of enthusiasm. I want to share 2 of them with you right now. I'm going to save the 3rd one for a little bit. So the 2 definitions, which are not going to come as any big surprise, are great excitement for or interest in a subject or cause. No big surprise there. Second definition is a source or cause of great excitement or interest. Again, no big surprise there. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper, and I wanted to find a little bit more about enthusiasm. And oh my gosh, in my, thank goodness for the internet, it made ministry so much easier. My goodness, so much easier now that there's an internet and you can just look stuff up. And so I was just researching, definitions for enthusiasm, and I ran across something that made me so excited, because another thing that I absolutely love are crossword puzzles. I like words, so I love crossword puzzles. I found the 200 answers to the crossword puzzle clue enthusiasm. So there's 200 different answers in crossword puzzles for the word enthusiasm. And so I'd like to share with you now all 200. No, just kidding, because that would probably take up my whole time to talk. So I'm not going to give all 200, but I'm going to give you a smattering of them in alphabetical order, not necessarily order of popularity. But just listen to these words and bring these words into your beingness. So these are all synonyms really for enthusiasm. So here we go. You're not going to be able to write them down because I'm going to go through them kind of quickly, but here they go. Appreciation, ardency, bliss, bounce, buoyancy, cheerfulness, delight, determination, devotion, ecstasy, effervescence, elation, enjoyment, excitement, exhilaration, expectancy, exuberation, fervor, flare, gaiety, get up and go, glow, guts, happiness, heartiness, high spirits, inspiration, joy, liveliness, moxie. That's my favorite one. Optimism, passion, perseverance, pizzazz, positivism, resourcefulness, sparkle, sprightliness, spunk, thrill, vigor, vitality, vivaciousness, wholeheartedness, zeal, and zest. Now that's enthusiasm. I kind of got all tingly when I was reading those words. They just brought something up in me that was exciting. And I'm going to say not just, it didn't just bring up enthusiasm, it brought up enthusiasm. And that is a term that I actually heard at one of my first conferences that I went to of the affiliated New Thought Network. And I don't remember who said it. It might have been one of the co-founders, Dr. Dominic Polifrone. But enthusiasm is what we're really striving for here. And I believe we are meant to live in enthusiasm. A life of aspiration, bliss, cheerfulness, ecstasy, fervor, glow, high spirits, inspiration, joy, liveliness, moxie, optimism, pizzazz, positiveness, resourcefulness, sparkle, thrill, vitality, wholeness, and zest, just to name a few. Now you might say, well, that sounds all well and good, Michele. And have you taken a look at the world lately? Have you looked around at what's happening? Maybe there's not that much to be enthusiastic about. It's kind of scary out there, and people are challenged, and life is difficult. It's different than it ever used to be, and a lot of challenges out there. And I don't really need a cheerleader here talking to me about enthusiasm. I get it. Valid point. And valid point. And I want to dive a bit into this word, find out what does it really mean and what these synonyms can bring and the power that this word has and can bring in our lives, despite whatever conditions, circumstances, life experiences are happening for us individually or in our world. So strap in, ready? Here we go. So the first thing I want to uncover is, what does enthusiasm really mean? What does it really mean at its core? And because, as you already know, I'm a word person, I love to look at the etymology of words. And I always have to think very carefully about if I said that right, because sometimes I want to say entomology, but entomology actually means the study of bugs, and that's not what but etymology is the study of the origin of words. Where did they come from? So where did enthuse come from? Well, it came from the Greeks, and it's made up of two parts, en, and theos. Theos is the root word of, or the original word of enthuse. And okay, this is a question that if you want to throw it in the chat or you want to unmute yourself and answer, I would love for you to do that. And I'll tell you, back in when I had my center, obviously we're meeting live back in those days, and I am not above bribing. So I would ask questions to the congregation, and if they had the right answer, I would toss them chocolate. So I don't have any chocolate here to toss you, but it would be a long toss from Phoenix to try to get it to you. But does anybody know what theos means? Anybody want to just pop in really fast with what does theos mean? Okay, Jesus, I see you there. What does theos mean? Unmute yourself. Oh, you're muted. Okay, I see divinity coming in from a chat.
God. It comes
Thank
from
you.
God.
Exactly. Theo, you're right. Absolutely. I see the chats coming in. And yes, theos means God. Theology, the study of God. So enthuse literally means God infused, God inside, God filled. So to have enthusiasm is the act of expressing our God filledness or our God infusedness. So I said a moment ago that the American Heritage Dictionary has 3 definitions. I read you the 2. I want to read you the next one. And then I'm going to tweak it slightly because I've always done this. I love to tweak. I've tweaked Ernest Holmes. I've tweaked Jesus. I tweak myself. And I used to actually refer to myself as a tweaker. But then one of the members in my congregation told me that probably was not a good thing to call myself because I really don't use methamphetamines. And so I'm really not a tweaker. I didn't know that. I'm a little naive. I didn't know if that's what that meant. So anyway, so I don't say I'm a tweaker anymore, but I do like to tweak words. So I'm going to read you what the dictionary said, and then I'm going to tweak it just a little bit. So the 3rd definition in the American Heritage Dictionary is this: for enthusiasm, ecstasy arising from supposed possession by a god. My tweak to that is ecstasy arising from possession by God. Ecstasy arising from our God nature within. Enthusiasm is part of our natural state. It's who and it is what we are. It is not just an emotional response when good things happen in our lives. So what this says is enthusiasm is not an effect. It is not a result. It is a cause. Take a breath with that. That's good. That's good, juicy stuff. Enthusiasm is not a result or an effect. It is a cause. Ernest Holmes, I had to quote Ernest Holmes somewhere here today, and I'm not going to tweak this at all, I promise. This comes out of the book, The Power of an Idea. And Ernest wrote, enthusiasm is a complete assurance and confidence that there is a power within us greater than we are and that we may use it. It should be our purpose to awaken this joy in us again and again and enter into the game of living, not sitting on the sidelines as though we were isolated, but on the field ourselves. It is God's enthusiasm, and it becomes ours upon our acceptance. So we know this is a fundamental new thought, religious science principle. We are God in expression, right? And so we are enthusiasm in expression. But in order for it to be activated in us, we have to accept it. We have to make a conscious connection to it. But when we do that, when we make a conscious connection to enthusiasm, we place ourselves in the surging, flowing, ever creative tide of life. So let's be clear again. I just want to say this again. Living a life of enthusiasm doesn't mean denying facts. And yes, there are a lot of facts in our world, maybe in our individual lives, that are challenging. They're difficult. But I pose that living from our God center, our God-given enthusiasm, gives us the power within to make shifts and changes in our lives and in the lives of those around us and in our world in powerful, might I say, powerful ways. So what kind of powerful ways do I mean? So I mean when you awaken to your innate enthusiasm for life, and you bring that to whatever you do in life and out in the world, shift happens. Now, there was an F in that word. I want to make sure you heard that. Shift happens. A shift toward the good, a shift toward the whole, a shift toward the loving happens. It means when we zealously embrace the fullness of the life you have been blessed with, you become a blessing to the world. It means when you share your gifts with joy and happiness, you have more and more opportunities to share your gifts. It means when you bring vitality and get up and go to all that you do, you feel an aliveness like you've never felt. This is powerful stuff. You feeling this? This is powerful stuff. You're also catching the synonyms for enthusiasm in here, right? It means when you are passionate about the idea of coming from your spiritual core, you become a living testament to the power of the divine. It means when you are spunky, you become a greater magnet for your good. It means when you have guts to step out of your fear and do that which you didn't think you could do, you do great things. It means when you bring flair to all that you do, you get noticed in good ways. And it means when you live from bliss, well, you live in bliss. So that's pretty powerful stuff. That's the power of living from your innate enthusiasm. You have the power to create, not just to react. You have the power to be responsible, not just to be responsive. You have the power to be the cause for good. You have the power to do great things. And that power is found in enthusiasm. So I love that Dr. Bill had you unmute before and say an affirmation aloud. I would love to invite you to do that right now with me. And so if you want to unmute, or if you don't want to unmute, that's okay. But still, I invite you to say this. And so I'll chunk it up and then you'll say it after me. We'll do it a couple times. I have the power to be the cause for good.
I
have the power to be the cause for good.
I have the power to do great things.
I have the
power to do great
things. And that power is found in my enthusiasm.
And
that power is found in my
enthusiasm. I love that. I love that. I don't know how many of you are familiar with, I think, I wasn't planning to say this, so I don't have her name in my head. Amy Kuzi, I believe her name was. She was a, she's a social scientist and a researcher. She did a TED Talk, and she talked about power stances. And one of the power stances is standing up, which you don't have to do now, but raising your arms up as you say something powerful. So we're going to do this one more time. Here we go. I have the power to be the cause for good.
I have the power
to be the cause for good.
Take their hands off their button.
That's right. That's right. I have the power to do great things.
I have the power to do great things.
And that power is found in my enthusiasm.
And that power is found in my
enthusiasm. So I'm going to read again that list of all, well, not all 200, but the list I gave you before of the synonyms for enthusiasm. And as I do this time, I want you to be finding one or two. Find one or two that could be your word that would bring you power to create, not to react, to be that power for good, to be that power to do the great thing. So here's the list again. I just want you to find a word or two in here that really works for you. I'm seeing some of you close your eyes. I love that you're doing that. Here we go. Appreciation, ardency, bliss, bounce, buoyancy, cheerfulness, delight, determination, devotion, ecstasy, effervescence, elation, enjoyment, excitement, exhilaration, expectancy, exuberance, fervor, flare, gaiety, get up and go, glow, guts, happiness, hardiness, high spirits, inspiration, joy, liveliness, moxie, optimism, passion, perseverance, pizzazz, positivism, resourcefulness, sparkle, sprightliness, spunk, thrill, vigor, vitality, vivaciousness, wholeheartedness, zeal, and zest. So just anchor in on one of those, or two of those, or three of those, and make them your touchstones, your words for living the life of enthusiasm and bringing the power that you have to your life. So I want to leave you with a visual. I love anchoring things in a way that you'll remember. So this is probably something you will not ever forget in terms of an example of enthusiasm. One day there was a farmer who wanted to breed his female pig, his sow. And so he called his neighbor farmer, and he said, could I bring my sow over and breed her with your boar? And the farmer said, of course, you certainly may. So the farmer loads his sow up into the truck. He takes her over to the other farmer, puts her in the pen with the boar. He goes off and has coffee with the other farmer. They're chatting, they're talking, while the deed is being done over there in the pen. And the farmer with the sow says to the other farmer, so tell me, how will I know if this takes? How will I know if she's pregnant? And the other farmer said, oh, easy peasy. Tomorrow morning, if she's walking in a circle in her pen, she's pregnant. Cool. So the next morning, the farmer looks out the window of his bedroom. Nah, she is not walking around in her pen. She is lying in the mud like normal. So he loads her up in the truck. He takes her back, puts her in the pen with the boar. Again, they do the deed, come home the next morning. The farmer looks out with excitement, but no, she's lying again in the mud. She is not walking around her pen. For the third time, the farmer loads her up in the truck, takes her to the other farmer, et cetera, et cetera. Next morning, the farmer, he doesn't even want to look. So he says to his wife, will you look out the window and will you tell me what's happening out there with the pig? So the wife says, sure, I'm happy to do that. So she looks out the window and she stands there for a moment and then she says, And the farmer said, what? Is she rooting around in the mud? No, she's not. He goes, oh my gosh, well then she must be walking around in the pen. Yay, it took. And the wife says, no, she's not doing that either. Farmer said, well, if she's not rooting around in the mud and she's not walking in the pen, what is she doing? She's sitting in the truck honking the horn. That, my friends, is enthusiasm. Namaste.
Anna, we're not hearing you. Nothing. Oh, heavens. The technology got the better of us. Or maybe it's just because Anna doesn't want to have to follow the pig joke.
That is highly possible.
At the Anton conference this year, I'll just tell a quick story. There's an auction as a fundraiser, and one of the fundraiser items is a collection of stories and jokes that Michele has collected to share with ministers. And to raise the auction price of that, she actually told the pig joke, which is in the book. And of course, raised a lot of money doing that. And when I invited her to do the talk, she says, yeah, I'll do the talk, but I have to be able to tell the pig joke. Anna, your computer is showing as muted. So. Still nothing coming through. I'm going to suggest that you check the audio input on the Zoom next to the little microphone. And let's shuffle up the order here a little bit. And Breen, if you could do the meditation now, and then we'll get the music back up and working again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was hoping for a musical interlude and transition to go from enthusiasm to let's all now sit here with our eyes closed doing nothing. Michele, thank you for that. That was awesome. I had several on my list. I probably would take all 200 of them. So I'm going to try to work some of this into our meditation. So I invite you to get comfortable wherever you are. And you sit with your back straight, feet on the floor if you're comfortable. And they say if you sit up right with your back straight, it helps you let go, but still remain awake. But even if you fall asleep, that's okay too. As Reverend Dave likes to say, you get it anyway. So I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable, allow them to feel a soft focus. And just relax into this moment, this now moment. We're going to take a series of deep breaths, 3 deep breaths. We're going to exhale fully to make room. We're going to breathe in deeply. We're going to hold it for a few moments to feel a little tension. And then we're going to exhale and release that tension. We're going to do that 3 times. Exhale. Breathe in deeply. Hold. And exhale. Feel yourself relax. Breathe in deeply. Hold. And exhale. Once more, breathing in deeply. Hold. And exhale. Just feel your body relax. Feel the tension wash away. Allow your breathing to find a gentle, even pace, whatever's comfortable for you. Just allow that to happen. Breathing in and out. Enthusiasm. What words from that list resonate with you? What words touch you, speak to you? How does enthusiasm show up for you? Just allow yourself to connect with those words, the idea, that the feeling that they bring about. Let that settle into your heart center. And know that is the truth of who you are. That is that God essence within, expressing through you in unique and wonderful ways. So many synonyms, so many different words. We each identify with different ones. Some may be the same, but because we are all unique expressions of the one, we express our enthusiasm in unique ways. And we live from that space. I invite you to take on this affirmation and this mantra. I live from my innate enthusiasm. Let that settle in. I live from my innate enthusiasm. Let that wash over you. Let that fill you. Let that inspire you. Let that excite you. As we go into the silence, take that affirmation with you. I live from my innate enthusiasm.
And as we deepen into this idea of living from our innate enthusiasm, we also expand our consciousness to recognize that power and presence of the infinite enthusiasm, of the infinite good, of the infinite power, presence, life force that we call God. that energy of love, that energy of goodness, that energy of abundance, that energy of life itself, that lives and moves and has its being as me and as each and every one of us. Each one of us a unique and perfect manifestation of divine enthusiasm, of divine life, divine love, divine energy. And in this knowing of who and whose we are, I speak my word in this moment for good. I speak this word for each and every one of us, calling forth from us that which is ours to do, the great things that are ours to experience, to express, and our amazing ways of being that we are called to be in this world. I accept and know for each of us that we are profoundly blessed and we are profound blessings, that we are abundantly provided for and we share our good generously with others, that we live in health and harmony, and that we are expressions of health and harmony in the world. This is the truth. I speak words of truth here, and I know that these words of truth therefore manifest in our lives, and they ripple out into the world with amazing effects, many of which, if not most of which, we never, ever even know. But we know it happens. And so in gratitude and great joy and celebration and enthusiasm for the manifestation of this prayer here and now, I say, thank you, Source. Thank you, God. Thank you, life. And in this place of enthusiastic, exuberant gratitude, given with fervor and passion, I release this word. I let it go into the law so that the law might and in fact does do its work. We let it be, we let it go, and so it is. So just take a moment to gently bring yourself back, stretching a little if that feels good, dropping head from side to side if that feels good, stretching, whatever it is. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
You're still not hearing Anna. So sad. All right. I will tell you that what she was going to play, or she's probably playing now, is Over the Rainbow. So I have it here somewhere.
That I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow skies are blue. that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. If happy little bluebirds fly above the rainbow, oh, I
Well, in spite of technology and challenges and difficulties with Zoom, that was not Anna, by the way. That was Eva Cassidy. It was also not 2021. That was 1998. But, we get the idea. Take just a couple of minutes now. And if there's something that's coming up for you, actually, Michele gave us some prompts. So this is an opportunity for us to give voice to what's come up. Anything to add to the prompt, Michele?
No, I just love to know if you want to share what word you came to, and even if you have a statement or something around that word, that'd be great to hear that if you have that. I think I saw Carla Ann with her hand up. Not that I'm facilitating, Bill, you are. So I'll turn it back to you.
Yes, I didn't even see the prompt, so I'm not even going to look at it. That was beautiful, and the meditation was beautiful, and one of my very favorite Cyndi Lauper songs. She was beautiful. It was also great to hear. But it's funny. Up until the not too distant past, I could be very self-deprecating, and I am truly an enthusiastic person. And I think I saw more of the curses to it a lot of the times than I saw the blessings to it. So this is like a really, really amazing thing for me to hear, because I'm very excitable and very enthusiastic and can be buggy at times with it. But you know what? There's all this other stuff. And my list of one was way longer than one. And then I circled some, and that's still like way longer than one. But I loved sparkle and spunk and zest and moxie and joy and flair and appreciation, and it's just so awesome. And I love the whole Theos. That is so totally cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. I saw Sandy's hand go up.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Michele. I had a realization, and it happened in the very last part of when you were speaking, and you went over those words slowly again. And I was listening to them and I thought, wow, that sounds exactly why people do drugs. Is because they want that experience. And the truth is, for me, and probably for everybody, we have that experience of like getting excited about something. Like everybody gets enthusiastic about something, but then fear gets in the way. And what I realized when I was thinking about it is that what I forget is that the same energy that brought in the enthusiasm, that same Theos, that same God energy, is the same energy that will move me through the fear, that will take care of all the things that the fear is about, all of my security issues that I'm so worried about. If I turn to God, if I turn to Theos for those, then the enthusiasm can keep going. And that's the key. That's the key for me. Because I get enthusiastic, but then I get scared. So that is powerful. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Sandy. You could have given that talk. That's really great.
And for those of you who are reading between the lines, we are not suggesting drug use or specifically crystal meth.
No, not at all. We don't need that.
True. Carolyn is gonna close us up.
Well, there were many words in there that I identified with and just resonated. But in particular right now was moxie and effervescence. And it's kind of like, what Sandy was kind of saying, like, for some reason, I mean, just whatever, something I'm holding on to that isn't serving me, it's like, oh no, don't get too happy. Don't get too happy. It's like, what? This is my nature. Let it out. Enjoy it. Live it. So it was great. It was a great talk. Thank you. I'm glad you were here with us.
Thank you, Carolyn. Carla Hans, your turn again.
Oh, so awesome. Thank you. So everyone, New Thought Philadelphia is all about spreading the love. Our community is supported by your contributions. The gift you share helps fund our work in the world, and the way you shine your light spreads the love. We are grateful for every way that you share. We don't have a basket today, but there's a donate button on the website to make donations by credit card or PayPal, as we mentioned earlier, Venmo or Cash App. You can also put a mail and a check to our office in Ardmore. The offering affirmation is on the screen. We'll say the affirmation together. I live
in an abundant universe.
I am
one
with the infinite source of all good.
I'm a
center of conscious prosperity. I enjoy the richness of life.
Bless my
gift. I share my gift with gratitude and joy. I know that as I give, I do receive.
And so it is.
Amen.
Thank you all so much. We've got alternate plan B in place with Anna. Let's see if we can hear what Anna has to offer. Well, never to be at a loss for plans. Here's alternate plan C.
If you call out loud, will it get inside through the heart of your surrender to your alibis? And you can say the words like you understand, but the power's in believing, so give yourself a chance. 'Cause you can climb the highest mountain, swim the deepest sea. All you need is the will to want it and a little self-esteem. So keep the faith, don't let nobody turn you around. You gotta know when it's good to go, to get your dreams up off the ground. Keep the faith, baby, yeah, because it's just a matter of time before your confidence will win out. Believe in yourself no matter what it's gonna take. You can be a winner, but you got to keep the faith. Gotta keep it, brother. And when you think of trust, does it lead you home to a place that you only dream of when you're all alone? And you can go by feel instead of circumstance, but the power's in believing, so give yourself a chance. I know that you can sail across the water, float across the sky. Any road that you take will get you there if you only try. So keep the faith, don't let nobody turn you around, brother. You gotta know when it's good to go, to get your dreams up off the ground. Keep the faith, baby, yeah, because it's just a matter of time before your confidence will win out. Believe in yourself no matter what it's gonna take. You can be a winner, but you got to keep the faith. Gotta keep it, brother, you got it. I know that keeping the faith means never giving up on love, but the power that love has to make it right, make it right. So keep the faith, don't let nobody turn you around. You gotta know when it's good to go, to get your dreams up off the ground. Keep the faith, baby, yeah, because it's just a matter of time before your confidence will win out. Believe in yourself no matter what it's gonna take. You can be a winner, but you got to keep the faith. You gotta keep it, brother. Gotta keep the faith. You gotta keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Go on, you gotta keep the faith.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And even when the technology doesn't work, the technology works, because that, in fact, was Anna from SoundCloud from 3 days ago. So grateful for everyone who's here, for all the wonderful ways that you share and support this organization, for the way that the love unfolds and the way that the bright light shines. Michele Whittington, would you close us out with a little call and response?
What do you mean by that, Bill?
A shout back. Repeat after me, unless you want me to do that.
Oh, you go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Of the 200 words that we could claim to be.
Okay. I can do that. Yes.
Just not all 200. Pick your favorite 3.
Golly, come on. Let me do all 200. All right. So hold on a minute. Let me just find my words again, because I don't have them. Okay. So here we go. I am bliss.
I am bliss.
I am bliss.
I am fervor.
I am
fervor.
I am vitality.
I am
vitality.
And I am moxie.
And I am moxie.
And so it is.
So it is.
So it is.
So it is.
Thank you so much, Michele. Thank you, everyone.
Hey.
Anna, thank you for the beautiful music and for being so prepared. I mean, sending me a link to a SoundCloud thing that I'd never heard. That was That was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
You're very welcome, and sorry for the problems.
It's, it happens. It's technology. We can get ourselves wrapped around the axle that it didn't work perfectly. And then we realize, well, wait a second. We've got California and Arizona and Philadelphia, New Mexico and England. And if the worst thing that happens is the recording is 3 days old, it's like, that's not the worst thing.
Nope.
That's not the worst thing.
Amazing. Amazing.
This was wonderful. This was really wonderful. It was so good to see you, Michele Whittington.
Thank you, Linda. Good to see you too.
It's really good. And I'm glad to see where you are and what you're doing, because I passed the building the other day and it's empty. So
yeah, it's been sold. The building's been sold. Yeah, okay. Makes me sad, and life moves forward.
And you know what? And you've landed in a great place, and I may have someone to refer to you. So there you go.
Thank you. I'd love it. Appreciate it.
All right. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. As usual, every Sunday morning, I love to see your faces. And one of the reasons I come along is because I just love to see your faces. So thank you.
It was great to have you.
Linda, Michele said it's a little cold in Phoenix. It's like